All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. I appreciate you guys for being patient with me. It's been a while since I uploaded, but we are here. We're back. You know, keep in mind, behind the scenes, I am actually doing videos, and it does get really busy, you know, at times. So thank you for waiting and patiently and still subscribing and liking my videos. Appreciate the comments, too, coming almost every day. So, yeah, I'm learning every day, everything new. But yeah, here we go, guys. Let's continue this. He Touched Me, the gospel of music. And yeah, let's get right to it. In 3, 2, 1. Let's hit that play button.
And How Great Thou Art sessions. And I think it's May 26, 27, 28 of 60.
Hold on. Oops. Volume. Very low. All right, cool.
6. We were there 3 nights in a row, 13 hours a night. And we took a break on one of those sessions, and he came over about 2:30 in the morning. He said, "You know, Ray, the Lord really messed up on me when it didn't make me a bass singer." I thought, yeah, right. That's really cool.
He was wanting some more material. We were into the recording of a gospel album, and he didn't have enough material, really.
I never will forget leaning on the grand piano at RCA, and I said, "Elvis, there's a song you ought to record." I said, "It's you." He said, "What's that?" I said, "How Great Thou Art." And he said,
How great thou art.
"I don't know it." And I thought surely he would have heard some of the Billy Graham crusades where it was sung there, but he didn't know the song. And I said, "Well, I've got some songbooks in my car. I'll get them and teach it to you."
Wow, look at them, man. So young. Man, being the youth, man, is an amazing thing. If only we could stay young forever. Wow, look at that.
He said, "Well,
Good
if you think
times.
I ought to sing it," I said, "I do." So the Jordanaires, we sat there and we taught him that song. And for 3.5 hours, he sat at the piano working out chords and getting a feel of that song.
When we did the How Great Thou Art album, and really this was when Jake Hess was still in our group, and as a matter of fact, it was Jake Hess and the Imperials, and this is in the, you know, probably 68 or 69. I don't remember the years, but I mean it was that far back. But he was going to do an album called How Great Thou Art, and they wanted a choir. He wanted a choir sound. And they talked about getting choirs, I understand, you know, from a church or something. But then they thought, well, why don't we get the Jordanaires and get the Imperials and get a couple of female voices, you know, strong female voices, and put them together and then double it, and it would sound like a choir. And then you'd have the best of both worlds. You'd have all these great voices.
What a trick, huh? I don't know these things. That's clever.
And you have a choir sound. So that's what they did. The great thing about it is that all of that took place right here at Studio B, and this is the piano that all those songs were played on, and it was a great experience, a great introduction to working with Elvis and his people.
Almost every time Elvis would sing How Great Thou Art, he had a special feeling. I mean, sometimes you can pretend that you have an emotion in a song. Almost every time he sang that song, you could feel the spirit of him, because that was his actual praise to God. He really believed every word in that song. He knew how great God is.
I believe that he got more joy out of singing that song. And I think you can tell when you see the video and when you hear it. This is the soul of Elvis when he sings that song.
In 1968, as a star of music, film, and television, Elvis continued to embrace gospel music, even though it sometimes made those behind the scenes uncomfortable.
See, RCA didn't want him to do gospel stuff. You know, they didn't want him to do that. That wasn't what we spent that $35,000 getting your contract from Sam Phillips. That wasn't what they wanted. They wanted him to sing Heartbreak Hotel and Money Honey and, you know, things like that. That's what they wanted him to do. They didn't want him to do a gospel album. He said, "We are going to do a gospel album." You know, he kept telling us we were going to do a gospel album, and so we finally got to do one, and it was a huge success.
You know, we talk about an artist who does something like a Springsteen does, a folk album, how edgy and how a lot of guts this guy has to do that. That probably what they thought about Elvis. Man, this guy's got a lot of guts to do this. It's Elvis Presley. What are those young girls going to think? They're going to think he's religious or something. And so I would think that they considered that pretty gutsy to do those records. In a sense, he turned the secular world onto what was happening in gospel music. To that point, I think it was basically a smaller world for that music, and he opened it up to the whole world. And so in a sense, maybe he was the guy that sort of brought contemporary Christian music, sort of started it, you know, in a sense, subconsciously.
Our first chance at really recording with Elvis was on the How Great Thou Art.
I don't even notice him.
And that's when he really got to know us personally. He had heard of the group. He knew Jake, of course, but the other guys were new to him. And which, you know, how things go with Elvis, he kind of filed it back there somewhere. And when it was time to go to Vegas, we were his second choice. Of course, the Jordanaires got the first call to go, and they wouldn't go. And then we went to Vegas with him at 69.
As his singers and musicians quickly discovered, performing on the stage was only a portion of their responsibility.
I wonder why the Jordanaires didn't go. Just let me know in the comment section if you guys know the answer to it.
In reality, they found themselves singing more off stage than on.
I know a lot of singers who make a living singing, and once they leave the stage, they don't sing.
Well, that's when his day began. You know, we're getting ready to kind of wind down. He's just starting.
Gotta drink some
Every
tea.
night when we finished, no matter what the time, we went upstairs and we sung to his friends.
As long as Elvis was up and around, you were almost on call. And he goes, "You guys coming up to the suite tonight? You know, yeah, we'll see you up there. You know, whether you told your wife you'd be home early or whatever. You know, if he wanted you to go up, he'd go up."
We would be working with Jimmy Dean in Las Vegas, and we'd have to wait on to our last night with Jimmy Dean because we knew if we went over to Elvis's suite, he would have us sing all night. We'd go there and we'd start at about 12 o'clock or whenever our show was over. And we would go till about 6 or 7 in the morning just singing songs. And the one song I remember, he always did, "I, John, so Almighty Know." That was his thing.
Wow, that's cool. Look at that, guys. Just how do you say? Just you know, enjoy this moment, because look at this footage. Like, this is rare opportunity. Like, they're behind the scenes. Look at them getting ready and stuff. Cool, pretty awesome, man. I'm pretty much, like, in my eyes, I'm living in the past right now watching these videos. It's pretty awesome to watch this, because this was history. Nobody knew.
Oh, John got scared. Well, he wanted to run, but his feet wouldn't go. Cause he felt the gospel cutting like a 2-8 sword. And he heard a voice. John, you take a look and read what you see, and you write it in a book you saw. He loved it, and we just sung and sung and sung.
Wow.
Just as our own quartet, and then he would get into it.
He did like a backstage concert. That's what it looks like. The guy said he just kept going. Like, wow. Tell me, man, he's a perfectionist, dude. Like, people practice, but he's practicing back there, like doing his own little concert back there.
By the time we would say, "Oh my goodness, we can get a break here," then he started singing. 2 shows a night for 5 weeks. A lot of times we'll go upstairs and sing until daylight, gospel songs.
Wow, till daylight.
I can remember, like 2 years old. It won't just put your mind at ease, it does mine.
And there was always a lot of people in the suite, by invitation only, of course, but the Inspirations would go up and the Imperials and the band members that wanted to come up. And it was a different mix every night, but if you knew he wanted you up there, he wanted you up there because he wanted you to sing, or he wanted to do something later on, or wanted you to be involved in whatever was going on up there. And so, you'd show up.
Here we're lined up all these stars.
Ooh. Wow. Oh, I didn't know they met each other before. Muhammad Ali and Elvis. Like, wow. That is awesome. Dang. I wonder. Ooh, I would like to hear Ali's encounter when he met Elvis and what they talked about. Oh, yeah. To be continued, guys. That's going to be something to look out for. But, yeah, that's it, guys. That's the end of my reaction. This is part 5 of He Touched Me, the gospel music. Wow, I gotta look that up as well. Maybe I should watch a video of, like different people encountering Elvis and the conversations they had, like moments, to get full in depth. You get to know Elvis a lot more too, on that perspective. When he encounters people, how he meets people. And, with the conversations they had with them as well. So, yeah, with that being said, if you're new, guys, hit the subscribe button. If you made it this far, give this video a like. If you enjoyed my reaction, I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Be safe. Peace.
Get over here!